It's time to gather together. Either I'm Yelta and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 195. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, join us at PAX East 2020. Announcing the PAX East 2020 fan gathering. New optional items available. Announcing the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival 2020-2021. Patch 5.2 Echoes of a Fallen Star. Site is updated. Letter from the Producer Live, Part 57 update. But first, let us shoot the shit. What has been going on this week? Hey, Ruby.
Whoa, what's up, Yelta?
Oh.
I felt a burp coming on right there, and I was like trying to suck it down. I was trying to swallow it. I was like, ah!
I was trying to finish saying stuff before I sneezed loudly into the mic. Then our listeners love it.
Oh boy, what's wrong with us? It's been a good week thus far. Last week we took off, and that was my fault again, but I was on a family vacation to West Palm Beach, Florida, and the weather was nice. It was 77 pretty much the whole week. So we swam in January. If those of you who are listening are more north than I am, I know Yelta is. And I live in Texas, and it's cold today. And I know
cold.
Not Minnesota cold, I'll tell you that much.
No, it's for Texas cold.
Texas cold, it was 29 today. How about that?
Oh.
It was,
it was
Texas
it's in the
cold.
20s here, so we're
Yeah,
actually similar.
but it'll be 60 tomorrow. So that's Texas weather.
That would give me a migraine.
Yeah, it gets a lot of people ill around these parts, but we tend to get used to it. So I spent a whole week doing relaxation stuff. You know, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. I know this is a Final Fantasy podcast, but I've been playing a lot of Go, and I can't play 14 when I'm out of town, so I try to play a lot of Pokemon Go. The problem is the subdivision that we were at, is relatively new. It's on the coast. We had reception, but we had no Pokemon. I had no Pokemon stops and all that stuff. So it was rather boring on the electronic gaming front. So I did like real life things like read and swim. What the fuck, right? But it was a fun time. So that was a blast. Got home, jumped in game. I have voted for my Valentino person. I don't know what this is supposed to be. My representative, my person who's going to cure this young man of his. What's his problem?
Aren't they like getting the job as head blah 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 or some shit?
Something about head. I don't know what this guy's after. The plot line is there's some kid or some guy he's got his head buried in his work, and he can't find a good partner in life or something, and so you've got these three that are going for this job, and they choose. You get to choose which one has the best idea to get this guy laid. I don't know. I make things up in my head. I read the chat, and then I read like what the NPC says, and I'm like, all right, how can I get this guy laid? Who's going to do the most? So I weighed my options. You got little Ellison, who's like, okay, I get it. She's the sister. You know, she should have Astrid. She should get some kind of points, I guess, because it's in the family or whatever. But I don't want to pass up the other two.
I'm not into that. No.
Oh,
Did you get a job just because you're the sister?
Nepotism, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the tall Ellison guy, which I can feel it. He's very intellectual. He's going to logically come to the conclusion. But, you know, we got a lot of nerds. We got a lot of people pushing up glasses in Coarthus. And my heart went with Bert. I had to go with the passion. Bert's just got a fire in his loins, and he's trying to get this guy's loins lit up. So that's how I see it. Yellow is passionate. So I went, and I always have to do my glamour first whenever I do the...
I did mine.
Yes. So I went. I realized that I had swapped the male version for the female version of my little strawberry shortcake outfit. And that was because at one time I had dressed all my Doots, my Lalafell army, to different gear. And I had dressed one of the Lady Lalas like strawberry shortcake. Anyway, so I got it at a Hawk, and I swapped it over to the male, and painted it yellow. I painted the wrong yellow first. I did like honey yellow instead of millicorn at first. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, it says it on the damn website. Which one? We read it.
Can you
in a couple
read,
of weeks.
Man?
I can't even remember, man. And I had to go back. So I went and talked to Bert, and I was like, oh shit, wrong yellow. So I had to go back, re-dye the stuff, because I don't want to just put the dye on me. I want to go back to the fucking glamour plate and edit it so it's done correctly.
Actual one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fuck it up because I'm going to put the dye on me and then accidentally hit the button and then it goes back to the other yellow. I wasted 2 yellows. Thankfully, I keep those like 6 to 8 different colors of stone. You know, you can farm the little crystals that make the color pigments. And I keep those in my saddlebag, my Chocobo saddlebag, so I can make dye whenever I need to. And so I whipped up a couple of millicorn yellow dye, whatever it is, and got my shit right, went back to Bert, and then I was expecting like, all right, here we go. I'm going to talk to Bert, and he's going to take me on an adventure, whatever the fuck. No. He's like, okay, well, we'll see you in a week. Okay. There's not more right now. I got to wait. I got to wait for the votes to come in. I did go back and look at the website because my dear Cinnamon Riesling, my wife, is planning on jumping back in shortly because she does not want to miss this event. She did miss, sadly, the last one, but she does not want to miss the Valentino's event. She likes the prize. She likes gear. She wants the gear. And this gear looks nice. It's very form-fitting. I'm looking at the male version, of course, but it's got like this cool pocket watch that's on the side of it. And I miss those things from 1.0. We had the belts, and you could see things on belts like the keys and stuff. And I know they've incorporated that into several outfits, but it's nice to get something on the waistline, especially like a pocket watch. It looks really cool. The bowler, the hat, looks really nice. In fact, I'm just wearing the gear as is. I went and looked at the company gear. You've got the company hat and company, I think it's tabard, something of that nature. And they look nice, but this set of gear looks nicer. I can see you swapping the body, the hat. No, that pointy hat, company hat. No, that's not it doesn't really look as good as the bowler, but the company, I think it's tabard is the name of it, looks really good. But the other one's newer, and it's got a pocket watch. So, you know, I'm going with the new shit. But I can see this staying in my glamour dresser. It does not go in the armoire. You have to put it in the glamour dresser. But, yeah, so here I am wearing millicorn yellow and waiting for, when is this? The 9th, I think, is when.
The 9th is the last day, is it?
Yeah,
no,
well,
9th
no,
is
9th.
Start.
When the start of the second phase, and I did go back and read for Cinnamon's sake because you can still get the body, the outfit, even after it's moved into phase 2. You can still run through that, but your vote's not going to count at that point.
Oh, okay.
You just get to.
Well, it sounded like they get to decorate or something depending on what the server picks.
Yes. Yes. And even in the dialogue, it says something like, "Get ready for our decorations when we get ready to do this," or something like that. So it tells you. It doesn't say like get ready for Bert's decorations or anything, but that's what I'm hoping for. We're gonna paint the town yellow, millicorn yellow, before terribly long. I've already had people on Twitter tell me, you know, I chose poorly, but I beg to differ. I think Bert's gonna pull it out. I saw a meme.
My choice. I didn't like Astrids at all. Yeah, you saw a meme?
I saw some memes about Bert, and I was already on the meme train. You know, if there's memes, I gotta join in on this. Now, you said you voted also for Bert, huh?
Yes.
All right, there you go. You heard it from Gather Together. Vote for Bert.
I liked what the Ellison had to say too, but I didn't like what Astrid had to just date your client. She was like date your clients or some shit, and I'm like, no.
Wasn't
that what she's saying? Date those people.
Basically, date your. I mean, that it's 2020. We just went through a couple of years of this kind of shit. No, thank you.
No.
And that's all I did in game. I voted for Bert.
Oh, okay. I'm like waiting for you to like finish. No, that was it.
No, that was basically it. I took care of that stuff and checked on my house.
Did you get your chocolate fountain? Did you run the?
Well, can you run the second part? Or you're talking about buy the chocolate fountain by running the thingy?
You do the maze again, and you get your chocolate fountain. I actually bought the entire other sex of the clothes, and I made the guy in the beehive, the collectibles guy. I made him wear that.
Oh, I like that.
I played dress up kitty.
No, I have not done that. I knew it was unlocked. I didn't feel like running the tether maze again. I mean, it's the same thing, right? You're running the tether maze?
You only have to do it once, though, to get the chocolate fountain. I think
okay.
Ulf and I did it
But you still have to play cards at the end?
Yeah. It's much easier if you have someone in the same room with you.
Oh, absolutely.
And
That's why I need Cinnamon to...
I took a screenshot of the cards when he flips them over. I take a screenshot and put it in my other monitor. And then Ulf and I are sitting here in the same room, and we're, looking at the screenshot, and we're, communicating about how to do the cards quickly. We did 100%, except for the time took too long, so we didn't get that one that's higher than Kindred Spirits. There's one that's higher than Kindred Spirits, but we took just and then we couldn't do 100 again. We the first time we went through, the tether stayed at 100 the whole way through.
Wow, and just couldn't do it again, huh?
No, but I think we were. It's fun, and I don't mind doing it. I'm glad we didn't have to grind out a bunch of stuff to get a lot of items. Because it is a little bit long. It's enjoyable, but, it's one of those things, we do like it when they come back every year, but, it's now, what is it, the third year we've done it?
Yeah. No, this is what I was talking about in the last episode or the one prior to it. I enjoy that they are bringing back these events every time. It's nice, and it's nice that they're optional. This isn't my favorite one because my wife isn't next to me playing currently, and so I can't kind of cheese it, Sorry, Yoshida, don't ban that.
It's very... You can no longer play with your significant
You can
other.
no longer communicate with your wife when you're playing the game. It's against TOS. Yeah. So, but it's nice that they are bringing all these mini games back, and there's a regularity to it. I think it's a familiarity that is warming to my heart. So that's basically the 14 stuff that I did. I did play more Pokemon Go when I got back, and I've had some success with that because there's PvP recently that has been opened. It's in preseason, and that's been fun. They cap you at 1500 CP for those that play Pokemon Go. So you have a ton of Pokemon that are viable. You don't have to have Registeel, although it helps, or Mewtwo's and those kind of things. So it's been a lot of fun. Yelta and I were talking about that earlier. If you have fun doing something, there's no apology for doing it. Just enjoy it. So if you want to be my friend,
it's legal,
So, well, yeah, as long as it's legal.
Moral. Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on.
My week now.
No, but if you want to friend me on Pokemon Go, hit me up on Twitter, which is back, baby. I brought the Twitter back. I think I maybe now that impeachment's over, I brought the Twitter back out of the dark ages, and so we'll try to move along with 2020 as best as possible. But yes, hit me up on the Twitter. I've been posting some Pokemon Go stuff. I've been calling it Catch of the Day, because I try to catch something new every day, and so put some stuff out there. But do not fret, I will still have lots of 14 information. In fact, we got plenty to talk about tonight. I didn't think I was going to talk this long, so I'm going to kick it over to you because we got lots to talk about tonight.
Yeah. I actually played quite a bit the last couple of weeks. I've been mostly logging in. I'm trying to get all 80s, but I'm trying not to burn myself out doing it. So, and there's the Moogle Tombstone event. So I've been logging in. Mm-hmm. I've been doing Beast Tribe dailies, and then usually like a MSQ roulette, and then if I'm really close to another level, I'd run a dungeon or something. But the Free Company did some Hades EX farm runs. I don't know. It's a long fight, and some people are still learning to do it flawlessly. So the farm party. Well, we had a couple pugs too. We had some useless pugs, honestly, but we're still learning. Some of them are still learning the fight, so they got long. But I think we did 5 clears, so that's a weapon. So I was happy everybody was able to walk away with something, because it's it is a long, grueling fight. I like it. I can't do it with my eyes closed or anything, but I learned it pugging it on the duty finder. So it is like drilled into my brain. It's very different for me than learning stuff with the free company, which I also enjoy doing. But it's a whole different experience when you're not, because like I don't have any voice call outs when I'm learning in duty finder. It's just basically me reading their text and reading their way markers and pulling up whatever guide they say. In fact, I think my clears in most of my farms, there wasn't even any Discord, So you learn differently, and I think I learn much better. But I do love then once I know if I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll come to that Learn and Clear farm party for the free company. I'll help you out. But EX primals are about the hardest content. I really feel very comfortable in it all. And that's borderline sometimes if you read my tweets. But no, it was good times. I think we saw a mount and it went to, I think, a pug. I don't remember for sure.
You're welcome, pug.
Yeah, we saw the mount, the music, and we saw one of the crafting items. And I didn't get any of them, but that's okay. I did, like I said, leveling. I got Dark Knight and Astrologian to 80. So I've got all my healers done.
Nice.
I started on Gunbreaker. I think of the casters, I've only got Red Mage. I haven't decided what I'm going to work on next. But I did do the event, Valentine's Day. And voted for Bert. We talked about that already a little bit. My retainer brought me a wind-up hobgoblin, and it's adorable. And the flavor text is disturbing.
I read that.
Yeah. So, but it was like, oh, wow. And then, of course, you look it up after you pop it, and you're like, oh, that's worth whatever million gil. But I don't know. Like I said, I was doing the Moogle tombstones. I did get my Namazu neckerchief, and I never did farm up answers, so I bought it from the event.
Oh,
and I have like 50 tombstones again. I've been running stuff. So MSQ roulette, if you run that every day, and they really, really add up. So I'll be able to buy something else. I own most everything else, though, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just get some fireworks or cross-check my list and see if there is anything I'm missing. But I think I have, like, everything on the list, so oh well. And then I was a guest on Phoenix Down Radio last week, and that was a lot of fun with Klaus and Chili. And we talked about mods.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a very fun, interesting weeks.
Was Yoshida tuned in?
I don't know, man.
Because he had lots to say about mods.
He had things to say about mods this morning. That's for goddamn sure. So, but that was my time. That was my week. And it was good. You can shoot the shit with us. Come to the website, www.gtffxiv.com. Let us know what you've been doing in-game. All right. First round is the news. The first one is join us at PAX East 2020. That's not us. That's not Ruby and I. That's the 14 crew. They are doing... The expo it's in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Thursday, February 27th through Sunday, March 1st. Expo hall hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They're doing a panel, The Artwork of Final Fantasy XIV, a look behind the screen. And you can submit questions to Yusuke Mogi. And there is a designated thread in the official forum. Oh, let's look and see how many of them are about,
boy.
Summoner buffs.
I didn't expect to go to the forums this early in the podcast.
No, let's see.
Here we are.
The first. Okay. Let's see.
How would you personally design Melvier? Of course, that's me.
Yeah, let's see.
How would you design their headgear if you had the opportunity?
So far, they all seem to be about design.
That's
good.
Good.
My goodness.
How would you design an Eggy Glamour if you could?
Okay, kind of a backhanded way to get that through, but yeah. That's. I'm actually surprised. I'm happily. Either the moderators are deleting unrelated posts, or people.
That is possible. I had seen that in the previous thread. We went back and looked because I had read one that morning. It was posted that was something not on topic, and when we went back later, it had been deleted. So they may be actively deleting the questions that are not pertinent, or the official forums are playing nice. I don't know.
I don't.
You be the judge.
You be the judge. Let's see. The panel location at the main theater, February 28th. So you can watch it on the official Final Fantasy XIV Twitch channel or the official PAX East Twitch channel. There's going to be a PAX fan gathering. I'll cover that in the next one. Yoshipili and Yusuke Mogi are going to do signing sessions. They're going to have their Final Fantasy XIV booth is going to have a photo backdrop where you can stop by and snap a shot. A pic. And there's a lanyard, and there's what do we got?
Whoa, was that a scarf?
Scarf.
Oh,
nice.
Fuck, I want that scarf.
Yeah. It's a giant advertisement scarf, but it's cool. It's actually not that bad. Oh, secret Ruby Weapon Battle Challenge. They get t-shirts, though.
Oh.
They get t-shirts. They're going to do that thing again they have a new player experience area. I thought that sounded good. They have people actively there to show people who don't play the game and get them to play it and send them home with a free copy of the starter edition.
They should do like mentor experience, people with crowns on, and then they're just like yelling at them when they're trying to do it.
The real mentor experience.
Yeah.
Do like novice network in real life.
Oh yeah, they can just talk about politics and social agenda deals and not actually help anybody. Yeah. I did read a thread today though that was comparing some of the novice networks on different servers and but I think they were both on Crystal, but between one server versus another on the same data center, and one was like, "Hey, I saw really good, helpful mentors in this one, and this one not so good." So your mileage may vary depending on the server you're on.
Well, and I think your mileage may vary depending even who's online.
True, time of day.
Even on Excalibur, I've been in there, and I usually turn it off because I can't take it. But I've been in there when it's just been some sprouts asking questions. It's used a lot just kind of as a general chat channel, which I don't mind so much as long as it's among the sprouts and it's kept friendly and whatever.
Right.
But sometimes mentors, it's just like, oh my God. I don't know. I almost wish there was like if once you're kicked out of the novice network, keep that novice networky, but if there was some other general chat, but I'm hoping, you would hope by then maybe you've bonded enough with somebody. I've never been a new player to this game since it came out. You know what I mean? So I couldn't even pretend to understand what would help new players, but I do know that a lot of people don't want to leave the novice network because it's their only chat channel. The game doesn't exactly make you go and make friends and join link shells and free companies and stuff. So, I really don't want a global chat either, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, they also had some merchandise for sale. We'll have some merchandise for sale, I guess. Existing stuffs. And they are warning us that the supply might be limited due to the early nature of the release. So, all right. The fan gathering at PAX East is also discussed here. Date and time, the February 28th. It's from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be at the Brahmin? I don't know how you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up, see if that's a hotel or if it's a restaurant here.
Yeah, so...
Back Bay. It looks like it's a swanky
we've seen pictures
restaurant
of this before.
Lounge. Yeah.
I've seen pictures of this place before. Yeah, that looks like a nice place to have an event.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So, adventurers who are selected to attend, so I don't know how you get selected, you can come hang out at this event. They're going to have giveaways and stuff. Event regulations, you have to have a Square Enix account with an active service account to apply. You have to be 21 years old, valid ID. You have to have signed up and been accepted. You must have a PAX East badge. You can be the guest of an accepted user. So, and there's sign-up information and stuff, so go check it out. There's an application to be filled out, and it's already closed. So if you haven't signed up by now, the sign-ups were available.
And it's gone.
Yesterday, and it's gone. So, hopefully if you had any interest in that, you already looked. Sorry. All right, and then the ever-reoccurring optional items is available. This first one surprised me. Didn't see this one coming. Had to run out and buy it because
it's a good one.
Yeah, it's just... Again, don't get me wrong. I wish these things were implemented in the game natively. I wish I could quest for it or whatever. I would not have. I don't really like a cash shop, but I had to have this toast emote. It's just too cute, and it just matches Yelta's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have last year's Valentine Day stuff. So the really ugly Gigas Greatsword for Dark Knight, the pretty much invisible Tonberry knife for Culinary and Offhand, and 3 housing things. The authentic stuffed mammoth is cute. Last year I had farmed up like 3 of the things because you could dye them. Mm-hmm. And then I think it was Raven. She logged in and she's like, she missed the event or didn't get something. And I'm like, well, there is a way for you to have one of mine since it is a piece of furniture you can put down and pick up. I just gave her permission to pick it up in my house and she could just have it. So,
how cool.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm sure somebody will tell them I did that and you'll no longer be able to pick up and hold other people's stuff and take it with you and put it in your houses.
Maybe patch 5.3 will get a disclaimer.
And I didn't sell it. I just gave it to a friend. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready for this? We'll announcing the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival 2020. It is in San Diego for the North America group. I know.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that was big.
That was big. My heart sank at first because I'm like, oh my God, that's so much further. It's like, because we always drive, it's like 6 hours more. I could probably handle that. It was already like a 25-hour drive. This is like a 29. I don't know. Yeah. But it's in San Diego, and this is a significantly bigger venue, I believe.
San Diego Convention Center. That's where the Comic-Con is, right?
That's what the cool kids were saying.
Yeah, so it's big. Yeah, double the size is what I keep hearing. San Diego's a fun place. I've been once before. It was for a wedding, and we didn't get to do a whole heck of a lot while we were out there. Yeah, tell us more, because I've heard a buzz about this. I think it could go either way, but tell us more.
I don't know much about San Diego, so I haven't been to California since I was 6. So I would like to go. It is Friday, November 6th, and Saturday, November 7th. One thing I noticed about that is this year's election day. I'm not going to make this political, but this year's election day is November 3rd. So that's Tuesday. So if you're driving, you have to vote and then drive.
Or early vote, I guess.
Or early voting. I guess The 3rd is also my birthday, so I might just take the day off, vote, and drive.
Okay.
Yeah. But, the San Diego Convention Center seems like it would be a good place to have it. And there's like a lot of hotels around there. I'm assuming there's a lot of like places to eat and hang out and stuff.
Yeah, my understanding is there's a lot of shit across the street from where this is at. So, I was like, a bunch of Pokestops and shit.
Bunch of water
sounds...
Pokemon? Are you... Density of water Pokemon next to the ocean?
There you go. But San Diego, we did go to the zoo. When I visited San Diego, you do have the San Diego Zoo. It's a badass zoo, so I think it's definitely worth visiting if you're into walking miles and miles and miles in a single day and you like animals. So that's the only stuff I know. And you want to get tacos, I think, or carne asada fries. I think that was a big deal in San Diego. But, I heard a lot of buzz today about San Diego, and it was negative buzz because a lot of people are looking at this as a more expensive trip. And I've already seen the tweets of the flights. And flights to Vegas are cheaper than flights to San Diego. Now, I haven't looked. We typically, my wife and I, fly Southwest Airlines because there is a Southwest Airlines airport that is closer to us than our international airport. And it's easier to get in and out, and Southwest is usually funny, and I like the way they do their seating and stuff. And Vegas, of course, has a Southwest hub, and so it's really easy to get that. I don't know much about San Diego. I know we did fly there once before, and it might have Southwest hub, and that's all well and good, and flights are cheaper. We looked. We couldn't find any flight prices through Southwest at this time. But others, I have seen 600. I have seen 1,000.
Oh, good Lord.
That's spooky to me.
That's what all the posts. I didn't get to follow very close today, but a lot of the posts were like bigger venue, but less people might be able to go or something. Is that what they were? Perhaps.
Yeah, because even though that there's a bigger venue and more people may be able to get tickets, I mean, think every year Yelta and I have done this. We talk about the headache, the fear of buying tickets and missing out. We've had episodes. Yelta's had crying fits. I've had to get her tickets. She's had to get my tickets. It's always like this kind of situation. And
take the day off. Yeah.
Exactly. We do it every year. And so to think that, it's easier to get tickets this go around, that kind of eases up. But to think you might have to spend $400 more in fees to get things done, you're like, that's bad. And then on a personal note, both Yelta and I had like two personal situations. I'm trying to work out a vacation schedule that I'm on a blackout up through that weekend. It releases the following weekend, but up through that weekend, I'm blacked out on vacation dates. And Yelta, you said you had a similar situation with Ulf.
Yeah, Ulf has already been locked in to cover for some coworkers. Hunting season in Minnesota, deer opener is the 9th. So I don't know if they go the following weekend wherein we would be okay. Otherwise, if they go the week of the 9th and Ulf is supposed to be at work on the 9th, well, I probably can't go.
This is it's wild. I mean, Yelta and I have been 3 years in a row. Not 3 in a row, but 3 fan fests in a row. We've been to all of them. I mean, I could see it being fair if somebody got my ticket, like, hey, enjoy yourself, whatever. But it's going to be a good time, and I hate to miss 6.0 information because that's going to be coming.
The hype that day is it's I don't think you can recreate that just watching it on TV.
Yeah, that's the truth. So stay tuned for your favorite two podcasters here to see how we do. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm less worried about the tickets than I'm about the actual dates.
The travel,
and traveling to this going. Also, I would be going solo because my son will be 2, and then I'd have to pay for a ticket, and we've already had this discussion in my house, so I'm clear for that. But it's a thing. It always is. It always ends up working out in some way, so we'll see how this year does it. But I'm interested to hear from our listeners or anybody else out there. How do you feel about the San Diego thing? They were kicking around a lot of different venues. I felt like Texas was kicked around at one point, and people were giving ideas of things. I live in Texas. It would have been great for me. But how do you feel about San Diego? How do you feel about it being in the San Diego Convention Center? You think it's going to be a good time? You think it's actually going to take away from it? A lot of people like that. Vegas, hey, everything is just right here. I'm bored in my room. I go gamble. I get some drinks. I go back upstairs. We go to the Fan Fest thing. I walk out. A Cosmopolitan's down the road. I can go eat at it's some stuff. But Vegas is also expensive too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing other people's reactions to this, especially if you were going to go and now this gives you pause, or if you weren't going to go and this opens it up for you. And I also don't know the area. I guess I could go down by myself, but my husband, I'm so reliant on my husband. I don't know if I'd want to drive down and do it all by myself. And, bringing someone with you, you have that default person to just hang with. And, you don't have. I don't feel like I'm like bothering Ulf because I'm hanging around him the whole event. I would feel like other people there with their significant others and friends and whatever. Klaus already messaged me. He's like, "Are you excited about going?" And I'm like, "I don't know if I can." So I'm sure I could hang out with him.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at the map right now, and the convention center is surrounded by, a ton of shit. There's a lot of hotels around it. Omni San Diego, they sound expensive. Hard Rock, the Hilton San Diego. Marriott's not terribly far from it. And then you got some deeper in, but a lot of restaurant. Old Spaghetti Factory's there. Woo woo. There's just a ton of shit that's in the area, and it's just a grid of streets, and I'm sure there's just a ton of shit to do in this area. It's right there near the water. So fun stuff.
I was excited, not just because of FanFest being there. I was excited to be, and I've never been to Southern California. I didn't realize it's 20 miles to, Mexico's right there. I've never been to Mexico.
Oh, we can get in some real shit if you want.
Let's go to Tijuana. It just went off the rails. But, last one of the years, Ulf and I, we just took a whole another day and night, stayed at the hotel after the event and just did stuff in town. Or did stuff on the way back. So I was excited to be in a different part of the country for one reason and, still, for the event, but still be able to take in, some sights. Mm-hmm. I'm very sad. Hopefully I'll be able to go. And it's not San Diego the problem. It just happens to be that week.
Yep.
That's kind of yours too, right?
Well, yeah, and mine, I gotta beg an HR person to see if I can get those days. It's the last weekend of a 2-month blackout because we're having a complete system conversion at the place I work at, and they want to make sure everybody's trained up on it and good to go. My position doesn't touch the systems, so I think it's one of those I could probably get away with it on the final week of the training stuff, but we'll see. I might have to do some begging. For that.
Listeners, light candles and chant to your favorite dark gods for us.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to just mention Echoes of a Fallen Star site is updated, but I don't think we really need to cover it because I think we're just going to talk about all of it. Anyway. Right? Because the next topic is just, the live letter, which kind of... So should we just do that? Should we do the...
Let's
live.
do it.
Let's do
if
it.
you want to go to the site, go look at the site. There's all the stuff that we're about to talk about that came out of the live.
Yeah, but I think it will just be duplicating our talking points. Do we just want to kick it off and just start with the frickin' trailer?
I would love to.
Right.
So, listeners, it's that time again. We're going to watch it live. I need to put the sound in my headset, I think, because I want to be able to get this in its glory. But we're going to play the Echoes of a Fallen Star patch 5.2 trailer. We'll do a countdown. You're welcome to click it with us or just listen to our reaction. But we're going to watch this in full. I've watched it a couple of times already. I watched it once on the commode this morning when I woke up. I watched it once, I think, at work, and then when I came home, my Cinna was hype because of some of the stuff that was in this, mainly a bearded man that looks very sexy. We watched it here just a couple of hours ago and had some discussion on the primals and what we think. I'd be interested in hear Yelta's thoughts about the primals here. And here we go. We're going to do it. So let me switch this shit over real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm a little verklempt.
I think I watched it on my phone first, and then I'm like, I have to go watch that on a bigger screen, and I don't even think I got around to that yet. So this might be my first time actually noticing some things. I was pretty busy at work today, so I probably missed a lot of the, ooh, did you notice this? Ooh, did you notice that commentary? So I'll be...
All right. Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, we're solid.
Good to go? All right.
I will do a little countdown here. You're welcome to listen along with us. 1, 2, 3, play. And there's blood. There's sexual themes.
Sexual themes. Oh my Lord, it's loud. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's those sirens, those Garlean sirens.
They like their sirens.
They love it. There's Ruby.
They apparently like
Not
their
me.
red weapons. Not Ruby.
There was breasts.
Somebody, those were breasts. Somebody did point that out. That's a female.
This is beautiful.
And dashes. I'm going to be dead all the time because I won't be able to get out of the dashes because of my lag.
Oh, how about that ultimate music? That's great.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Gaius.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the machinists are happy.
Flashy. Is that a nice machinist?
Those are all machinist abilities. Oh, we got a
new
Cyclops.
Dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Quiggins.
Oh, is that White Auracite?
I don't know. We have bazookas. Who has bazookas? That's a UFO.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah.
Ooh, big lips. Juicy.
There's something wrong with her chin, I think.
Mm.
The lips don't bother me.
She looks like a Bratz doll. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, here we go,
lightning.
baby. Ooh,
He's
so
got
sexy.
wingy.
The little Ixion on the butt.
Ixion's body, Garuda,
Yeah.
and Ifrit.
Uh-huh.
I
We got
like it.
lots of wings. We got, I don't know what Ifrit's got.
He went on a diet.
Lore.
Lore dump.
Numu.
Crystal Exarch.
Oh,
and
yep.
some shit going down at the
It's getting real
Crystallarium.
now. Oh.
Echoes? Those are Garlean. That's a Garlean ship.
Yeah. Garlean's on the first? What's happening?
Somebody figured out how to get there.
What does all this mean?
And I don't know where some of this is going on because
Sid's hurt.
Sid's there.
And so is Aldbert. What's happening?
Yeah.
We got all the Scions fight. We got them juicy lips. We got that juicy booty.
No, he got the new outfit. I think he's.
Oh, that's right.
way
Booty's got
cool.
shrunk. And then
And then
Dalamud.
Dalamud, right? I thought I saw Dalamud on the art.
And the shooting stars. Hold up.
And
Dark Knight Quest Givers. We got all kinds of shit happening.
Elidibus.
Uh-huh.
They
very
do a
unlike you.
good trailer. That's for damn sure. Every time this happens, our Discord goes nuts about the trailers, and I'm like, yeah, they do a good trailer.
Any standouts for you?
I don't know where some of this stuff is happening. I mean, because I can't tell because they do that thing again where they basically put the entire trailer in a shredder and just like slap it back together so it looks, and it drives me fucking crazy. And maybe it's supposed to be.
Go ahead.
Maybe it's supposed to be cinematic or get you more hyped or whatever, but it's like, very obviously, Xenos is seeing stuff from the first, but we know he has a fake echo, so is he just there echoing it, or did the Garleans actually get there? Do we accidentally open the portal wider and let more people in and out? Because us, the Warrior of Light, we can go back and forth, and that's in game and in whatever. Last patch, we're like, eventually we gotta send the Scions home. Their bodies are stuck there without their souls, and this isn't you can't stay this way. So
right.
Some of it was relic quest, some of it was the EX. I don't know, man. It's too exciting.
I don't like the shredder, like you mentioned, but I think at least in 5.2, we are seeing closer storyline. It's not like they're throwing like the relic stuff in there. At least I don't think so. It's to me, it's like, yes, you've got the not savage, but the fights, the normal fights that have to do with the raid series, and then you also have like the storyline. But at least in 5.0, they're together. Like it's a continuation of the same story. So I think that it's going to fit a lot better. Like seeing Garleans and Ascians, not Ascians, Ascians. I was going to say Alligans. Seeing Ascians and Garleans even mixed together in that format isn't terribly alien for my expectations for 5.2. I knew we would get, because I knew Ruby Weapon was coming, it's Garlean shit. It fits with it, it's just like on another level. The things that stood out to me, of course, are the primals. My sexy Ramu, garlic beard is now garlic booty. It's beautiful. But let's move past him. The Ifrit and the Garuda, my wife and I just tried to pick apart, like, what was the combination in the Warrior of Light's mind here? And I'm feeling a little Zervan, maybe, in the Ifrit model. There's a slimming, kind of skinniness. Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing there.
Yeah, he looks kind of like, I don't know, Diablo-esque or something. It's...
Yeah, and it could be that it's got a little Diablo.
Going to the high-quality images.
There are high-quality images, yes.
The Square Enix press site. That's where I like to go because I get to see the good images.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it tweeted out a little bit, and it does have all three in full body. It's easier to see the Ixion and Ramu mix for the Thunder fight. The Garuda, I think, is also interesting because it's more wings, and it seemed like the feet were different. They were cloven hoof kind of thing. I'm not sure if that's the same feet that Garuda had. I could be completely wrong. I'm not a foot guy. But my wife was like, maybe it's a siren mix, maybe. And, Siren Garuda, I can see completely kind of mixing together in some way. I also thought Sephiroth, because 8 arms, 8 wings. Don't know. So I think it's interesting. That part is very interesting. Did you pull up the pictures yet? Are you looking at them?
I pulled up the high quality pictures. Yeah, she's got the 8 wings going on. She's got how many sets of wings on her head now? I can't see her boobs in this shot, so
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, her feet, I can't tell if they're talony or somebody said these wings look more like what's that dragon's? Helvesker? Whatever his name is.
Oh,
somebody said they looked a little bit like that. Because, since we're summoning is up from the memories of the Warrior of Light,
Could be. My Cinna did say Nidhogg because she was talking about dragons and stuff.
Well,
so.
Somebody said something about Nidhogg's human form and that I don't even remember the human form.
Well, since we're talking about dragons, and if we see here, because I think the expectation from the last tier going into this tier, we had water and earth. And we thought, all right, we're going to get 2 elements, and then we're going to get 2 more elements in the last. Well, that's not what's happening. It's looking to me like we had 2, and now we're getting 3, which leaves us 1 of the 6 for the last. And she was the last.
Yeah.
Last time. Yeah. And that would be Shiva.
Shiva, very impactful in the story. I know that people are thinking that maybe that would be a pretty amazing. But the picture also kind of showed that Garuda and Ifrit were together in that screenshot. So are we fighting them both together? So that's only 2 fights. So even if we have Shiva, we still have another one we don't know.
Well, true. And here's where I'm going with that. I don't think we're going to see Shiva in this tier. I think we're going to see Shiva in the final tier. I want to play a game. I want to say, Yelta, you as the Warrior of Light, close your eyes and think of Shiva. What would you come up with as the Shiva fight?
Oh, what would be weird?
Or what do you think the imagery would be?
I don't know. I think if it would be more crystally. Right?
I can see that.
Less of a human-looking woman and more like a crystal thing. Or, alternatively, do that thing in Tsukiyomi's fight where, some of the fight, it's her, and some of the fight you're kind of hearing the actual human person's voice. Because Shiva was 2 people,
Right.
On top yeah.
I think the latter is where I go with it, and I've seen some ideas online. I've seen some ideas that really kind of shake me. I was shook. First, when I think of Shiva, and I think of that first phase, you cannot separate Shiva from Ysael. You have a character that's gone, and you're going to be thinking of a dead character reviving one of the dead. I mean, it's all well and good when you're thinking of primals, but when you're seeing the dead and you're summoning almost an image of the dead up, which leads me to the other thing, because if we're summoning Ysael's imagery, when I think a lot about that patch, and I think about Coerthus and Snow and the dead, I think of Oranchefant. I think of him and his sacrifice. And I have a feeling the Warrior of Light is going to let that imagery somehow seep into those final fights. I've seen this as an idea. You might see something crazy like a Shiva and Omega mix where you've got male and female, Oranchefant and Ysael. You could have some crazy stuff where we are fighting the dead. And I say that, but I mean it in an emotional sense. This
how
is
could you not, if you had to think of Shiva, it so much more goes into it than just fighting that primal.
Yeah, it's the whole of Heavensward, and Heavensward was so heavy. That one's going to be wild. Maybe so wild that they decided we've got to separate that from the others. We got to have 3 full fights of thinking of Shiva and maybe the dragons and whatever else. So that's wild. I know that's 5.4. That's far from here, but it's something fun to think about while we're looking at the mixes of the primals. But for the here and now, we have the primals. I want to say one more thing about this video, because our good friend and lore god, Anonymous, has looked into that last scene, right? We saw Dalamud, clearly, but we saw the imagery from 1.0, which is called the Star Shower. And we've always, Star Shower has its own storyline. We don't talk about this often. I think the lore gods know more about this than the general public. But there is a lore that went with the Star Shower from 1.0 that has to do with the Echo, and those that see the Star Shower are the ones that are blessed with the Echo. Apparently, whenever you get the Echo, you see this imagery, but this imagery is something from the past. It first happened, this is his quote, when the Echo first sounded after the Battle of Silver Tear Skies in 1562, a vision of this event was seen over Silver Tear Lake from every angle of Eorzea, and everyone who awakens to the Echo sees a brief glimpse of it. So if you had ever played 1.0, you can recall that there's a part of those scenes in the opening cinematics that you look up and you see it looks kind of like Dalamud. It's a bright white light with meteors coming out of it. Then we had 2.0 and we saw Dalamud, and then it was kind of like, oh, are these things the same? Is it mixed? I think where the mystery is starting to become solved is that we just saw a video where the imagery of Dalamud and the Star Shower are mixed together back to back right there. So we're either going to get a continuation or a conclusion to that 1.0 lore, or they're going to make sure that we tie in the Star Shower to Dalamud. And then we also got Amarant, and we've got things from the past. So this could all really tie way back.
We were even talking last week. What was that crack? Remember, that was part of the whole. What happened to, when the beginning of the end for the Asians was that crack, and then horrible things, and it's like, what was the sound?
Mm-hmm.
So
they don't forget about the 1.0 stuff. No. I love that they never give up on those lost 1.0 threads. I just need my path companion to come back from the dead, and that'll be the end of all things that are 1.0. But this is fantastic. So thank you, Anonymous, for that insight. Stay tuned to see what happens with the Star Shower. But those were my major takeaways from the trailer.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people spending a lot of time trying to guess and whatever, and I'm like, it's Tuesday. Let's just go see it.
Yeah.
I don't mind a little bit of speculating, but people get themselves so sometimes convinced that they're fan theory, and sometimes they make a lot of big stuff out, and that turns out to be really nothing. So I try not to get too wild in my speculating. But all right, so that was the trailer. I thought a very good trailer. I am very excited. I'm hoping the story's good. We were talking tonight in the free company chat. Somebody's can't wait till Tuesday to start, get more gear and new tomes and new stuff for Glamour and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm more excited for the story. The game is cool and all, but for me, some of it's the vehicle for the story anyway. And I'm very excited for more stories. So. All right, then there was the letter from the producer. It happened. I was not awake, but we had people both in and out of the free company and multiple sites. We got people doing live translations. I was reading Mogmog's translation Discord, and I haven't even had time to cover it all. But I know that one of the first things I talked about was mods. We were talking mods on Phoenix Down Radio last week, and we kind of were like. Basically what this Reddit post is like, Yoshida, don't do mods. I'm not asking. It's against the terms of service. And really that's it. It doesn't really matter if it's lewd mods. It doesn't really matter what it is, but modding the game is not allowed, and it's they spent quite some time chatting about this on the live letter.
It's not good when Daddy Yoshida has to give a disclaimer right at the beginning of the live letter. And this isn't the first time he's done these kind of like, hey, Dad's not happy with what's happening. But, Dad covered, and I think it's okay to read the translation here. Thanks to Hot Water Truffle for the translation here. But to me, Daddy Yoshida covered 3 things, 2 that he makes pretty plain in the beginning, and then 1 gets covered a little later, that one being the way markers. But if you'll allow me here, I'm going to read some of the stuff from here. He doesn't like mods, and he doesn't like the way we treat people with the parsing. So here we go from Daddy Yoshida. There are people using mods to take lewd screenshots in the game. People say I haven't been taking a stance on this. It isn't allowed. Depending on the content you publish, it goes beyond just getting a penalty from Square Enix. In some countries, some of the screenshots we see are against the law. We want to avoid being asked, what game are these screenshots taken in? Change the data. Don't let them do this. So I ask you to please refrain from using mods. Little earthquake around Tokyo. Another topic they want to discuss are third-party tools. I don't understand what that earthquake thing is. Since the player base increased a lot, I feel like I should talk about this because the different backgrounds players have. It is against the terms of service to use third-party tools. Please refrain from using them. There can be consequences like penalties to your account. But what about apps like Discord? Being in voice chat technically is using a third-party tool. There isn't anything bad happening to the game if you use these apps. It's not like you are rewriting data or inputting anything into the game, so it's hard to draw the line between tools we accept and the ones that break the game. DPS meters simply add the numbers that are being shown in your battle logs. It isn't accessing game files. What if I get asked, so can I use a calculator instead? Really? I'm an engineer myself. I understand you could just write an Excel macro to read the log file after a fight is done, but I'm taking a stance on this. We won't know what you have installed on your PC, but third-party tools are against the terms of service. Gray zone is still gray. I am asking you not to use these third-party tools. We won't be adding an official parser. It will turn everything toxic. We won't implement one ever. That's in caps.
Yeah.
People might say it's less efficient, but I don't think a game is fun if all it does is push for efficiency. If you call someone out for low DPS, the problem isn't even just using a third-party tool, it's harassment. We cannot do anything if people have a little window on their screen showing ACT. We don't want to scan your computer for software you have installed. That's against the law anyway. There are additional plugs for ACT that influence the gameplay a lot. This is breaking game balance and is target for more severe penalties. For example, during World First Race for Alex Ultimate, there was a tool used to instantly replace waymarks during the fight. I'm sure some of you have seen that. That was the first time I learned that a tool like that exists. Players can replace waymarks on their own during the fight, of course, but having a tool place them instantly, sending the command to the server through the game, is wrong. Please don't do this. We've taken actions on our side to prevent this from happening again. I will show you a bit on the machine later. There have been clips going around of a tool where an untargeted AoE will hit. If we catch you doing this, this will have a heavy penalty. So that is the complete translation, for better or worse. It may not be perfect, but I think it's pretty clear. There were 3 major points again. He starts with the nude mods. We've talked about this in episodes past. There were, of course, people pretend Lalafell are children. Pretend, because Lalafell, if you roll a Lala in this game, listen to me, if you roll a Lala in this game, you're rolling an adult character. It's an adult. But people like to pretend, and that pretending is where the sick stuff. But that's not even the one. It was the Reen mods who's taking an actual NPC that is stated to be a minor.
A minor, yeah. And
putting nude mods on a clear minor character. Not I'm pretending a Lalafell. A clear minor character. No. That's what he means by it's against the law in some of these countries. I don't know what fucking country it's not against the law, but it's against the law in some countries. No. All right? Hard no on that. Then he goes into the parsing. We're not getting a DPS meter in this game. Your dummies are it. The gray area is gray area. That sounds to me like it's still, you can have ACT. I mean, he clearly says, if you have ACT on a little window on your screen, we can't scan for that. Yoshida is talking through his teeth as best as possible, but he has said this time and time again. You can have your little ACT up on your window, even though he says you can't. Don't tell nobody. Don't say nothing to nobody. You don't talk to nobody about it. If you want to use your own personal thing, he says you can't use it, but he says you can. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're not understanding that, I don't get it. But what ended up happening, and I think there's a big case to each of these, right? Mm-hmm. So the big case of the first one was the Reen models. The big case on this one, we've talked about this a couple episodes back. You had the harassment of a Japanese person who was actually like an actress. She was target harassment. But we recently had the Arthas scenario a couple months back, a month or so back.
The streaming and the yelling and
streaming and the well, Arthas yells when he talks anyway.
Oh,
but
okay.
That's just
familiar,
him.
So.
But yes, the yelling and the bad behavior about and I think he would admit to that of talking about somebody's DPS numbers, all right? That was this scenario in this case, all right? But we're not getting an official parser. It's not happening. Drop it. It's gone. The forums were on fire for part of that. But the final one, and we'll get to it when we talk about that portion, is and I saw the video today of the ACT / I don't know the program. It's not ACT, but there's a program. I forget what it's called.
The one that shows
it puts the green and blue circles on the ground, and it shows you where. I saw this for a Titan EX run. That was the example. It tells you in advance where the bombs are going to blow up. It shows you in advance where I said ley lines, but where he's going to knock you off. Yeah, and landslide ley lines. Don't stand in that. Just kidding. It shows you all that shit in advance to where it's doing it. Now you imagine on a Titan EX fight, but imagine it on Ultimate or something else. So that's the shit he's talking about here. People are using these tools to know where attacks are going to happen before they even happen. And that's when he says, this is the first time I learned a tool like that even exists. You can see the clips are out there. I don't have a copy of it, but if you look for it, you can see it.
I saw a tweet of one that was like, wow, this is real. I didn't even know that kind of stuff was even possible.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So we've seen bans for all these things before, or at least harsh penalties. You gotta love these comments about, just don't show your nude mods and all this other stuff. To me, that's a deeper issue than don't show anybody your...
Well, some days I can't even scroll through my Twitter, and I don't follow a lot of, not safe for work accounts, and there'll be, giant penises nude strapped onto females fucking things, and it's like a screenshot from the game, and I'm like, I don't want to see that, and why are you sharing that publicly? That's, I honestly, I don't care what people do in the safety and comfort of their own home. Clearly, Yoshi P has said don't do it, so I wouldn't be a fan of anybody doing it, but if you were going to do it, why are you publicly throwing it in everyone's face?
Well,
oh my God.
Well, and if I'm going to shit on somebody for their DPS, why would I do it on a stream? Yeah. I mean, it's just dumb. Even to type to somebody, what are you, some fucking ice mage? What's wrong with you?
But I'm already upset because people are like, see, you can't tell anybody else what to play because Yoshi P said you can't call someone out for low DPS. It's like, so, there's the extremists that are like, see, now you can just push whatever buttons you want in a dungeon. You can't do anything about it. And the other side that's like,
yeah, I read something that was like, it resonated with me because somebody's like, it's not the toxic elitists that are causing the issue. It's the toxic casuals that are using these made up scenarios of, oh, I guess I can't tell somebody what to do, whatever, when they're not some kind of expert themselves. And all they want is to say, oh, I didn't get to say, oh, you shithead asshole, you're so sorry. I mean, they want to be rude. I think a lot of the people who have umbrage with this are using some extreme scenario like the kind that you think of in the shower when your boss told you to get back to work. I'll tell that son of a bitch what the fuck's going on.
You're now planning the murder.
Yeah, you got this weird scenario in your head. I'm going to tell this black mage that and he's going to report me, and I'm already. And now you're mad, and so you want to tell the internet.
Yourself worked up based on this pretend. See, and what I really don't want to happen is to anyone take that line and bend it in such a way that back when I had switched back to black mage and didn't know what to do, I don't want someone not to feel comfortable to say, "Hey, do you want some tips on your rotation?" Because that literally happened to me. I said yes, and he talked to me for a few minutes during the dungeon, and I moved some buttons around, and by the end I think I was doing better. I don't think it's really scary to me though if we can't help improve. And you don't have to be an asshole, and not everybody is open to, I've been in Tales of the DF subreddit. But it just really upsets me that someone has already started using this. Yoshi P says you can't comment on other people's performance. Well, why?
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
And
show me the receipts.
Sasha doesn't matter.
I want to see the receipts. There's so many people that have these stories, Yelta, quote unquote, of I told somebody that they just needed to make sure they did this in a dungeon. I got reported in a 2-day suspension. And where's the screenshot? What did you say?
Yeah.
What did you say? Oh, gee golly, you should try to hit this button. I doubt that's what you said.
Well, and there's been some in the Tales from the DF where the poster who's complaining about other people is clearly the asshole. The other guy might have been pushing buttons wrong, but the person who posted their own name... AITA.
You been to that subreddit before? Am I the asshole?
No, but I have seen it referenced. And it's like, yeah, you had an ice mage, but it probably wasn't heard in Cutter's Cry. And yeah, make the offer or whatever, and people are going to troll and people are going to do whatever, but...
Well, that's a desert instance. You want to use ice magic to do more damage.
Clearly, because elemental
that's
resistance doesn't work in this game. Oh my god, I'm having flashbacks. Anyway, don't do mods.
Definitely don't do nude mods on children. Don't do nude mods. Don't do mods. Don't post your mods. Don't do DPS parsers and post your results. Don't shame people for your DPS stuff. Don't do it. It's gray. Don't do it. And don't use those third-party tools to tell you where Ifrit's going to do his landslide or ley lines.
Ruby, I was really surprised when I saw that one. That little clip that was showing stuff that you're supposed to just like how many fights did we have to learn to look away because we had cursed whatever, and we had to, we learned that based on I have the debuff and I have to position my character correctly. We didn't have markers or things that showed us where not to stand.
I feel like you could just program the thing to move your character. You could just hit 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it would just move your character while you're hitting those buttons if needed to. I mean, are we getting into the whole Counter-Strike kind of like aimbot, all that stuff? That's just really terrible. You can't feel good about yourself. That's really you've cheated yourself. You've not only cheated yourself, you've cheated your experience. Whatever that shit that came out last year was.
Because I remember back when I played 11, my group wouldn't really do most NMs because a lot of people used bots, and we didn't want to use bots. So if you didn't use a bot, you didn't have a chance. So we just didn't do a lot of that.
Oh yeah, that's when you had to hit those NMs or whatever before anybody else could get to them. And it's the Japanese get on that real quick. They had that faster server pop, right? Anyway.
Yeah, there were some that were real hard to get unless it was like super in the middle of the night and no one was around. All right, so there's a lot, and it's kind of actually interesting to scroll down and see what, like, people's responses in this, too.
Yeah.
About what's illegal and what's not illegal.
Well, and I know we'll get to it in just a little bit when we read through this, but the one other thing from the official forums, I was pleased to see that the official forums weren't on fire when we went earlier in this episode. But I went earlier today after the news about the waymarkers came out, and I'd see the first 5 posts, 3 of them were about, what? I can't move waymarkers anymore? Or Yoshida's throwing the baby out with the bathwater again, which I kind of believe a little bit, but...
Well, I've felt a few times in games, even in this game, where, you know, they change something or make it inconvenient for honest people just because some people found a way to abuse it. And
right.
There is kind of that feeling of, because we've done a lot of fights that have multiple phases, and during the phase change or whatever, you would change the markers. We did Coil. Coil had, like, the phase would change and we'd have to move a marker. Mm-hmm. So, and I think you even said that's like the example a lot of people are using too, right?
Right. Yeah. Turn 9, things of that nature. Yeah. So.
All right. Should we get into the patch content and features? We are thanking Nova Chrysalis. We're gonna use your list. There are many lists, but this is my favorite. So, patch 5.2 arrives on February 18th, 2020. I have already taken that day off.
Great.
Yep. New main scenario quests will be added. The Beast Tribe, featuring the Quigaran, will be have a focus on gathering. When they say a focus, I think that's all it is. It's gathering only. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be like which one were ones? Namazu, where you could do... Some of them where you could do different things.
Right.
Yeah. Chronicles of a New Era quests, the Sorrow of Weralt, will be added. That's the relic, I believe. Mm-hmm. A new instance dungeon, the Animus Andir, will be added. That will be put into our new roulette. And I'm assuming that one looks like a storyline. So it looks like now for a while they said they weren't going to do storyline dungeons. Do you remember that, like back in Heaven's Word or Shadowbringers or Stormblood? And now it's like the new dungeon is storyline.
Right.
It seems to be. Which I kind of like a little better. It feels like it has more reason for existing.
I want it to have some meaning, you know, not, here's this little temple that we used to hang out in and, you know, go fight stuff. Because those felt throwaway anyway. Temple of the Fist or whatever. I mean, what a throwaway dungeon after the first, you know, the patch came out.
Well, some of the ones that felt really throwaway to me, and I didn't really feel like it at the time, but like a lot of the hard modes, where basically you revisit the thing, but since you murdered all the Tonberries, the Beast Tribe moved in. You know? Yeah. That felt...
Don't worry, we're not getting any more of those.
Yeah, we're not getting any of those. Anyway, Cinder Drift is Ruby Weapon. That will be added as a new trial and will also have an extreme difficulty version. It looks badass.
Yes.
New raid called Eden's Verse will be added and feature both a normal and savage level difficulty. And there's no cooldown anymore. They both release on the same day, I believe.
Oh.
Right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. New job adjustments and PvP job adjustments will be implemented.
Oh, but they're
not telling us what they are.
Don't ask what they are, because they're not going to tell us. All we heard, I believe, was that, we tweaked Summoner too much the last time. Everybody and their mom knew that.
Yeah. If Summoner didn't get tweaks, I was going to be mad, and I don't even have a...
Yeah, Black Mages were going to riot. And I think, didn't they say something about Red Mage, maybe?
Red Mage buff, I thought, and I think Summoner nerf. Hopefully they keep them... They're usually pretty gentle in the buffing and the nerfing, so...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to take too much of a nerf to get Summoner, just a little bit below where Black Mage needs to be and all that other good stuff. So that's fine, but don't expect any more out of this because it was another thing, and I think they even said it on a different Reddit post that I was looking at. It was just clearly, hey, we're not doing any more. That the Reddit post... in fact, had to say, when we post the information here, don't complain at us. Yoshida's the one saying he's not going to tell us what the job adjustments are anymore. Wait till the patch notes.
All right. Crafting, fishing, and materia system updates will be implemented. A few crafting actions will be removed, and fish bites will be changed to notifications. Okay. I'm actually looking forward. I do a little bit of crafting. I quite like gathering, and I'm very excited to see what fishing is going to be. Mm-hmm. new.
Ocean fishing looked cool from that video.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that part of the video, but I'm actually kind of excited about the idea
think
of
the
it.
background looked really kind of like shiny, and I don't know, it looked really neat.
We're getting a new Allegan tombstone. Shocker. Additional New Game Plus chapters are going to be added. This time, Alliance raid quests will be added, so you can replay those, which is good because a lot of people who haven't done like the Ivalice raids and stuff in a long time, or haven't done the story. A lot of us did them right when they came out, and we don't remember some of those little. It might be fun to go through some of those again. Mm-hmm. Rank increase for free companies to 30. Higher levels will get an upgraded free company chest. Do they mean more space, I assume? Hopefully divided into more tabs. I'd like to make more tabs, because what do we got now? 3 tabs?
Yeah, and they're all full almost.
They're all... tell Cinna. No, don't tell Cinna.
No, maybe it'll get her to log in.
Somebody did a cleaning out the other, not long ago, because somebody was like, where's my whatever? And Bell Dandy's like, that stuff's easy to get. So... All right, I'm happy for a rank increase. It's been too long since something like that has happened. What is our rank now?
I didn't think it was close to 30. I thought they only went up to single digits. I don't know what they were.
I don't remember. So, but I don't know how high it goes. What is the rank? We'll have to look at it. We'll have to look at that sometime. It'd be fun if there was anything to do to work together, but we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. A new course for the Gold Saucer's Leap of Faith Gate. Joy, I could fall off and be a failure at that. Yeah. Oh, fellowships can be viewed on the companion app. Does anybody still have that on their phone?
Oh, I think I have it on my phone. It probably needs to be updated, but...
Yeah. All right. Umbrellas will be added. I did see the video on this. I was... in a meeting from home, kind of watching the live letter. It's cute. I don't know that we needed it, but it's basically kind of like an emote. It's like a permanent emote almost. You click the button and you pull out an umbrella. It's interesting.
I think that we've got a video that's below down here that shows some of it. I'll take a look.
There's 8 ranks right now. Free company ranks, there's 8.
Yeah, I thought it was only single digits. Yeah, so I'm like
30. Okay, all right.
All right, something to work on?
I like progression. All right, here we go. Red Mage damage will be buffed as it's the lowest caster DPS, including the fletch action. Mm-hmm. Summoner damage will be nerfed. Yoshida apologizes that the previous summoner buff was too powerful.
You don't have to apologize.
Samurai's meditation stacks will be moved to the job UI. I don't play Samurai. Oh, is it just shows like a buff or something in your buff or debuff section? PvP, Warrior, and Monk is going to have adjustments. Dancer will be nerfed for balance. Summoner will be used as a baseline for balancing PvP. And now we're into stuff that's not actually in Tuesday's patch. You know, they talk about 5.2 has all this stuff, but 5.21... is going to be released 3 weeks after 5.2. We're going to get the Asgardian Restoration gatherings for the Diadem. We're going to get the Kupo Fortune Scratch-Offs, expert recipes, and a ranking system that will take place for 10 days with the release of patch 5.21. Top-ranked players will get special titles. Yoshida says these new expert recipes are difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. Patch 5.25, 5.25. Now, 5.21's 3 weeks out. We don't have a date for 5.25. We're getting a new secret trial. That's that secret trial they were saying we're going to get. Mm-hmm. So that's at least a month away. Mm-hmm. And then a new quest called Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhilder. A series for upgradable equipment will be added. So but that's different than the Chronicles of a New Era, The Sorrow of World.
Yeah, because that has something to do with the Warrior of Light, I think. So,
And then they showed some video of the Ruby Weapon, which looks really flashy and cool.
Yes.
Some Qatari Beast Tribe quests they showed us. That's going to be in the Raktika Greatwood. I'm trying to think if there even are any there right now, and I don't remember.
I'll have to go look.
Leap of Faith. It's going to be featuring the floating city of Nim.
Cool. I love that aesthetic.
Yeah, that's a neat idea. There's the little floating islands and shit, so that may be cool. And they talked a bit and showed some stuff from Eden's Verse, the raid. And he says that this chapter is going to be more challenging. The staff designing this raid is different than the previous set of Eden raids.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right,
That's good, though. It gives you a little bit different feel.
I'm looking at Yoshida challenging the Garlic Beard. We've got a square arena again, but the lines are divided oddly. It's not just
there's squares and rectangles.
There's squares and rectangles. There's dotted lines and solid lines.
Oh.
And he's gearing up. He's got a Nokian on, so he's doing well. And it's another flashy fight. Let's see. Did he turn on? He must have turned on invulnerability. Yeah. So
he wouldn't get murdered.
Oh, I see balls. There's balls.
Because picking up balls was really that. I know the Warrior of Light would have remembered picking up balls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean with the dotted lines. And I'm fast forwarding. It's a kind of a boring environment, but. I guess...
I've heard complaints about how boring it looks, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we also had... these are just screenshots of Garuda, Ifrit, Ramu. Very nice. Then they talked about the Eden gear, and he did the thing again where they threw up the screenshots, the printouts in front of the camera. But you get a nice look at them. There is a picture of all of the gear available, a nice high-res one, I think. But
interesting, because I'm looking at, let's see, casting, fending, maiming, slaying, aiming. Oddly enough, the aiming hat, I know it's a wide-brimmed hat, but it's giving me like a Steiner vibe from Final Fantasy IX. I guess it's just the way that's covering part of his eye or something on that. I don't know.
It looks like it's slightly different than other ones.
I like it. I like all this gear. I think it looks great. The healing looks very traditional. It looks like a nice traditional healing gear. And maybe
I don't know why I have to have cold legs though.
Yeah, well, you have to wear a dress if you're going to use magic. That's the power of magic comes from the loins.
I have to have cutouts though.
Yeah, you have to have easy access for the magic to come forth.
Oh my goodness. Looks like that. Okay, but when men wear it, they get pants. They don't have to have bare skin. Did you notice that? On
the but I still get a dress.
You still get a dress. Yeah, I think the gear looks okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing amazing, but I think they're good, solid, pretty attractive. We all glamour over it anyway. So
yeah.
All right, the Ocean Fishing Fisher exclusive content board. A ship at specific times to enjoy fishing on the high seas. They receive experience and script based on fish caught. After meeting certain conditioners, passengers may discover a spectral current and the chance for a big haul. I bet that's what the glowy shit you saw was.
Yeah.
Every 2 hours, you're going to be able to board for 15 minutes. There's 2 locations, and each trip will have 3 spots where you can fish for 7-minute blocks. If one person meets conditions for a big haul, it'll be available to everyone on board. Yoshida comments that one ocean fishing trip will be about 30 minutes. You can leave without completing it, but at the end, everyone's points will be tallied.
I like that.
I'm gonna hit and play on this because I didn't get to see this morning.
It's a lot of them walking around on the ship, but the concept there is really neat, especially if you can meet objectives from fishing. And this is what we wanted from the Diadem in a sense, and I guess we did get it because objectives were met and then the emergency mission, but it was so spread out and then it was no coordination. This is obviously, you know what to do. You're coordinating to catch fish, and then you're gonna try to catch the big stuff when it comes up.
Southside Aleport, it looks like.
This looks really neat.
Yeah, I'm interested, and it could be. I already leveled, but if you can get script from it, and especially if there's anything worth buying with the script, that would be excellent. Ishgard Restoration Diadem. So they gave us a video for that too. Now again, that one's not Tuesday, right? Diadems later.
Yeah, I think it's later.
But they did show a video of it. I haven't had a chance to watch this one either, but it's the diadem again. It's still the diadem. You still look like you access it from Ishgard, but I don't think you have to have Cerulean tanks and stuff anymore.
Right. All right, I'm seeing an enemy. Let's see what Yoshida does to this enemy. I heard they get one plant. Shot when they.
Yeah. Looks like there's a special ability.
It's glowing blue. It's one of those like the Gimmel.
Dommel all along. So it looks like there's mounts, and then they showed the scratch off, the Kupo of Fortune scratch off. What do we got here? Materia, music. Oh, that's a minion.
It's like a bazooka when Yoshida shoots this thing. It's like a light.
What timestamp on
that? Go to like 1330.
Okay. Sorry, listener. I should have watched this earlier.
Well, it's like a big light bazooka,
thing. And he just hit it. Yeah,
boom.
It's because they said it's a drill. Isn't that what they called it? It was a drill.
Sure. It's a big drill of light.
It's a compressed aether gauge to power a cannon that will blow apart mobs into materials, and there'll be different weather effects.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have sky steel tools. These are looks like relics for crafters. I'm hoping gatherers too. They won't have better stats than a fully melded one and no extra visual effects. Oh, so these are just like script tools. Yeah. All right. Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhilder, a new series of upgradable equipment. It's going to be in patch 5.25. You'll receive a base weapon, join the Resistance, and free Boza from the rule of Legatus Noah Van Galbraith. Oh. Mm-hmm. So some people getting excited about that name today, I heard.
Galbraith. Yeah, we've heard that name kicked around before. I don't remember if it's in this or if it's in the lore book or where it was at. But, Gabranth's in the lore. So it's good to see that they're getting to it. And I'm also interested in seeing. Oh, I clicked off of it. In seeing what we're saving. I guess we're saving really the land. Bosja is the land. I was getting excited. I'm like, are we going to see a female Hrothgar in this?
Well, and they say that those who level a Gunbreaker job may have an idea what's going on. I have not leveled Gunbreaker yet. Maybe I'll do that over the weekend if I'm around. We'll see what happens. Since due to the story content involved, you will first need to complete the Return to Ivalice Alliance Raid series from Stormblood. So, content in addition to quests will be added from patch 5.3 onward. So this is going to keep going on and on. We have people in our free company who have not done those raids, so we may have to help fill parties. So in 5.25, you'll start the story and get the base weapon. There's going to be a boss involved. Does that mean you get to fight the boss? Good. You know me, I like it when we have a challenge, of some sort. In 5.35, there's going to be a new field instance, but it's not quite the same as Eureka. This time, developing the weapon isn't strictly in lockstep with the story progression. Yoshida mentions an instance similar to the Baldician Arsenal isn't in development.
I like that.
I still haven't done BA.
Oh, me either.
There's still groups, gathering for it, but... Oh, and here's where umbrellas, they showed us, it's in the extras menu. The umbrella will cast a shadow in the sun and keep you dry in the rain. They might add more umbrella types. If they do, they'll have to make a separate sub-menu for it. It's similar as mounts, so they're thinking of adding new umbrellas as rewards to content. I don't know who wanted this, but it's cute, I guess.
So mounts in cities, basically?
You have a mount around. You can have an umbrella.
Umbrella mount in the city, basically.
Umbrella. I'd take an umbrella mount. That'd be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right, and there's some updates on spirit binding and materia. Previously, and they already told us this was coming. When you reached 100% in a spirit bond on an item, you could convert it into a materia, but you would destroy your weapon. Now you get to keep the item, but the spirit bond progress resets. Okay. No one. I don't know if anybody. Are they giving us a reason to spirit bond for materia again? Because right now materia is.
I don't see a market for it for doing this. Great that you don't lose the gear, I guess, but that was part of if there really was a materia market for spirit bonding, then you're killing part of then you're killing part of the market by making the gear where it doesn't gone and the crafters can't make a new set of gear for people to spirit bond or whatever else. I don't really get the point of it. Somebody can enlighten me what the point of changing the system is.
I'm assuming just to make it easier, but honestly, like, I hate it when people spirit bond in dungeons because a lot of times they're wearing like crappy gear. That used to be the problem. People would wear shitty gear. But maybe since the spirit bond since it doesn't destroy the gear, maybe people would like invest in better gear. I have no idea. Yeah. I am unsure what this change is for, or I don't know. Does anybody spirit bond anymore, listeners? I would really like to know. I never do. Never. Updated waymarks. So this is partially, I think, in fighting those third-party tools that would do markery things and show things that they weren't supposed to show. The waymark system has been updated where you can save preset configurations of waymarks to be deployed during an encounter. This is in an effort to dissuade the use of third-party tools, which is against the terms of service, that provide the same effect. Except for... Okay, and on one hand, it sounds kind of neat. So, like, Bell, every time we do Hades ZX, Bell puts out all the markers. I don't really remember where they go. But I'll be able to, like, once he has them set, I can actually save them off, and then if I'm farming without him, I can just click a button and it'll put the markers down for me. That part doesn't seem horrible.
Part's awesome.
That part's not bad, right? Every week when you're like, especially when you're doing Savage, every week you put up or every farm party, you put up a marker to figure out your clock positions. You put up a marker to show if you're on Team A or Team B, and then you get rid of those markers. Then you lay out the markers on the field, and that just helps you for the rest of the fight. But it's people were abusing the ability of the markers somehow. But
right.
Now the real problem now is they also said that once you put the markers down and start the fight, you can't move them.
That's right. You cannot move the individual markers once it's started. What I'm unclear of, because I've talked to other people, I've seen it both ways, and my hope is that the macros could still be used. Because that would be interesting if you could use the macros. Like, let's say there's 3 phases and something changes. And so that if the macros are preset, you would be able to use the macros in the fight. So no, you cannot move individual markers around. But you could cycle between your macros that are preset that said like, okay, phase 2 starting, we're going to change the macros and then hit the macro and then it changes the markers. I would think that's acceptable. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. If it's not, I think it's still, I mean, we'll have to live with it, right? Because there's nothing else we can do. I think it's shittier that way. And I don't know who gets control. Like, once they're set, could somebody remove them?
They can today, so...
and that's annoying. But, like, what happens if you're about to pull and asshole A decides to remove the markers right as the tank pulls?
Honestly, I hope, and if they don't do it, I would like to see it put in the log, Bob deployed marker set 2. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it already shows, like, if I put a mark on your head, if I do the thing where I mark you as chain 2, it says Yelta put a marker on Rubicon's head.
Yeah.
So I would like to see...
there's a battle log for it. And I guess you could report somebody for griefing if they removed your markers each time.
Yeah, but you'd have to be able to prove it. I want to see it in the chat log.
Yeah.
The other thing I wondered is in a lot of phase changes, also the boss is untargetable, and I'm wondering if maybe you're technically out of battle. I wonder if you could hit marker section 2 during the phase change or after the phase change before you re-aggro the boss.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's interesting.
Because, most of those fights where we have the phase change where we would move a marker, I would like to be able to get rid of the marker for the second half of the fight from the first half of the fight And, just a lot of times it's like, I just need to place one marker quick. So we don't know, but a lot of the fights people can't do without markers. So, I do like the ability to save off 5 different ones and be able to put them down without having to manually position all 8 markers now. We got one more marker. We used to have 1, 2, 3. Now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we did get an additional marker also.
We got 3 new marks, I believe, out of that. So it's cool.
All right. So Miscellaneous, they have an in-game render for the contest-winning glamour for a ranged DPS. This is adorable. I love the lacy little kind of floofy top. And for a ranged DPS, it doesn't bother me that, you're wearing cloth, because you do. It's cute, and it looks a lot like, it looks quite a bit like the submission, so that's nice. I don't know what they did with the tights. The tights on the girl look weird, right? One's like a stocking. Am I seeing something dumb?
No, you're seeing one's like a stocking, and the other comes up like at a point. One's like a knee high that's pulled up, and the other comes up like a garter.
No, they're both the same stocking. One's just got the
black stripe.
It's a strap for the holster.
Gotcha. All right.
I think that's what it is. Because I'm like, what the fuck? My eyes see it better now. No,
it's Final Fantasy, though. I wouldn't be surprised. Look at Tidus's outfit from Final Fantasy X. I mean, that lopsided shit. It wouldn't surprise me.
But I really like this. And then we have wall-mounted furnishings based on fish sketches. I thought that was really cute.
It's cute.
All right, then they talked about Fan Festival. We already talked about that. Let's see. We did some announcements about PAX East. We already talked about that. They reminded us that we can buy our Art of Reflection Histories Forsaken. That's the Shadowbringers art book. Releases in Japan in March 31st and in the North America in May. NHK is hosting a poll where you can vote for your favorite aspects of Final Fantasy. The voting period ends February 11th. Is that the one that's giving like early releases back? Because people are getting... What are people getting wound up about, like the best villain? Is that this poll?
Oh, it could be... Yeah, I think there is a villain one. And like Emmett Silk got 11? It was like placed 11th or something like that? It is.
Boss and Summon. Yeah, because as you vote, they must be tallying. They're not waiting till the end to show us it all. But because like... Which had the best boss and summon or whatever. Cool. That'd be interesting to see. It's fun to see what the fans think. I can't read Japanese.
No, so. I guess I got deep enough that I could find it. Yeah, but there's the 1st through 10th place are still question mark. They're not posting it. But number 11 is Emmett Selk. It says on here Emmett Cirque, but yeah. Which is above Sephiroth, which is probably where some of the pissed offness comes. And let's scroll down. Well, I don't see Kefka, so it must not be as good as Kefka.
These are characters overall. This isn't even villains. Squall,
Butts is there.
Vincent Shantoto, Locke, Crystal, Egger, Butts.
How's Squall going to be lower than Sephiroth, though? Oh, that's interesting. Whatever.
People love Sephiroth. I mean, love him in an unhealthy way.
Cloud will be somewhere in the top 3.
Ooh, Tsukiyomi's 14th on the boss summons. Sephiroth, Rubicon, Bahamut from 10. Tsukiyomi from 14. Dark Spider from 3. Odin from 8. Titan from 14. Yasmat Omega from 14. Rare from 6. Diablos from 8. Ozma from 9. Shinryu from 5. Neo X Death from 5. Titania, a lot of 14 in here. I don't know.
That's great.
If it's, that's pretty interesting. Where we are robbed is I do not see any entries for music.
Oh my. Well, it must be that Uematsu love, I guess.
No, not saying anything bad about Uematsu, but 14 does have some pretty amazing music.
Well, there's still 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place to be won there, so
yeah.
Let's see.
A collaboration hotel room can be reserved at the Royal Park Hotel Iconic Tokyo Shirodome from March 18th through June 30th. Rooms are decorated based on Meg, and introduce a giant beaver cup. Okay. Primal's Live in Tokyo Bringers of Shadow concert will happen in April 14th and 15th. I have cat on my keyboard. Oh, there's the cup. Okay. Oh, it's the beavers from Meg. That is if you guys haven't done that quest line, that is a disturbing quest line. Oh, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's a lot. I think it was a good live letter. I didn't, other than Daddy Yoshida coming down on everybody and the way markers and the DPS stuff. Everybody else was happy. So if we didn't get chided, I think everybody would have been extremely happy with what was seen here. I was on the Facebook for 14. Facebook's usually a hotbed of shit, but a lot of people were very happy with Ruby Weapon. Especially with the 7 remake being around the corner. Mm-hmm. This is good hype for it. Of course, this is probably released around the same time because they expected the 7 remake to be very soon, but it got pushed back to April, I believe. And so this is just in step with it. A lot of people were confused on that Facebook and thought it was images from the remake and were like, I can't believe they've made Ruby Weapon look like this. It's amazing. And then people were like, yeah, that's 14. That's not
14.
7
Go
remake.
check it out.
Go play. Give Yoshida your money.
It's still a good game, guys.
It is a good game.
Community occasionally acts like the game is burning down and everything's terrible, but it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of references. I think it's very reference heavy, and I think other Final Fantasy players would enjoy that a lot. All right, let us move on to Last Call. I'm going to shout out Klaus from Phoenix Down Radio is doing a Minnesotan meetup on March 7th at Victoria Borough. The website's victoriaborough.com. I'm going to be there. We're going to have more information on when. I think we're thinking early. I think we might be thinking like noon.
Yelta. I clicked this link, and the first thing I see, it says axe throwing.
Oh, have you not ever thrown an axe?
I've never thrown an axe, but I've also never heard of Victoria Borough before, so I was like, holy shit, they do axe throwing at this place. It looks like it's kind of like a mix between like a Dave and Buster's, but it's a little more rustic than that, and you can throw axes.
It looks like they got pizza, the video games, they got axe throwing,
mini golf, basketball.
It's like 15 minutes from my house. I can't believe I've never been there. I'm looking forward to.
They have alcohol, Yelta.
I know. Oh my god, the last meetup, I was drinking the most delicious little drinks. Oh my god, they were like video game themed drinks and stuff. The axe bar. Yeah, we're in Minnesota. We like our plaid and our axe throwing, so. And our drinking. Oh, looks like sometimes there's live music. Yeah, Victoria, Minnesota is where this will be at. It's very nice. But we'll let you know more as it gets closer. It's coming up, though. That's only a month away.
It's a month away, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, then, I guess it's probably closing time, then. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtffxiv.com. While there, please leave us a comment, and if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV, email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us on whatever you use to listen to us. Personal plugs, Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Rubicon Vale, RUBICONVALE.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yelta Sumasu, YELTASUMASU. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.